Gibraltar, a small British overseas territory located on the southern tip of the Iberian Peninsula connected with mainland Spain, a territory that has been controlled by the British since the 1700s. Gibraltar sits at the entrance of the Mediterranean Sea, where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Mediterranean Sea, which provides a commanding and controlling position over the Strait of Gibraltar and the gateway between Africa and Europe. The Rock of Gibraltar rises noticeably from the land and offers an advantageous position for military observation and defense. The territory is mostly known for its impressive rock formation, which rises 426 meters, 1,398 feet, above sea level and dominates the skyline. And what can be found on the Rock of Gibraltar are these interesting animals: the famous Barbary macaques, also known as Barbary apes, tailless apes, Gibraltar monkeys, or simply just monos in Spanish, which means monkeys. However, these monkeys are the only wild monkeys found in the entirety of Europe, and they all live here on the rock. But how did they get there? The origins of the monkeys in Gibraltar are somewhat unclear. There are a few theories about how they got there, with one of them being that they came somewhere around 5 million years ago when the water levels were much lower, or as low as it being possible for the monkeys to get over from the North African coast to the Iberian Peninsula over the Mediterranean Sea. Scientists, however, believe that when the Arab Moors ruled over the Iberian Peninsula from the early 8th until the late 15th centuries, they brought a few of the monkeys with them from North Africa. But the monkeys did not have an exponential increase in amount due to several reasons, such as lack of vegetation and water supply. But when the British came to control, it is said that they secretly brought extra macaque monkeys to Gibraltar during World War II. And this particular species would likely not have survived if the British didn't care for them. Today, most of the monkeys of the same species are found in the Atlas Mountains of modern-day Morocco, Algeria, Libya, and Tunisia, along with a small introduced population in Gibraltar isolated from the rest, geographically. According to legend, as long as the monkeys remain on the rock, Gibraltar will remain under British rule. There are currently around 300 Barbary macaques living on the rock, and they are all protected by Gibraltarian law. So to help both the monkeys and tourist visitors, the monkeys are chipped and checked up on and also fed by the government, otherwise they are at an extreme risk of extinction like their neighbors in North Africa. Laws against tourists feeding the monkeys are also set to protect the monkeys and tourists. Feeding these wild monkeys jeopardizes the health of an endangered species by increasing their size, enhancing their vulnerability to diseases, and exacerbating their stress levels, posing a risk to their well-being, with deliberately feeding the monkeys in Gibraltar being an offense punishable by law. Anyone caught feeding the monkeys is liable to be fined up to £4,000 for doing so. However, with a population of just over 33,000 people, the small British overseas territory still receives on average somewhere around 10 million tourists per year. In addition to the macaques monkeys being the biggest tourist attraction for the territory, most macaques are friendly. However, others can come off as not so friendly, stealing tourists' bags, food, and other belongings. But they are still Gibraltar's biggest tourist attraction and will probably be so as long as Gibraltar exists.